Hey guys, so I've randomly been playing a lot of Mario Kart DS these past 2 weeks, and I mean a lot. So to keep the story short, I recently purchased a pre-owned DSi XL to add to my collection of DSs. And this one so happened to come with a copy of this super fun title. Before having to sell this with the rest of the other games I didn't play anymore, you know, to get other games, I remember it being so awesome because it was the first game to include retro tracks, mission mode, versus mode, battle mode, and dry bones. After repurchasing the game from all these years, not only did my appreciation for it returned, but I've recently started to observe little things in the game that I never noticed when I was younger. Therefore, I present before you 20 random facts about Mario Kart DS you probably never cared to look at. You guys ready? Alright buddy, you need to relax. Did you guys know that Mario Kart DS was the first game to ever change the way you time the starting boost? In previous games, you would just have to time Lakitu before he says go. But this time, you start when the tube begins to fade. Fun fact, back then, I didn't know what cheat codes and YouTube were, so I never actually succeeded to do the boost until I got fed up and looked it up online months later. To follow up on the idea of boosts, have you noticed that no flames come out of your engines? In previous games, fire would come out of your cart pipes when you perform them, use mushrooms, or even when you power slide. This game doesn't even include any of these. What the heck? Kinda weird and lazy in Nintendo's part, TBH. Ooh, and there's this one time that I was racing in Tick-Tock Clock, and I ran into a pendulum bob by mistake, and I so happened to be next to Peach, who was just a random CPU. She got hit about the same time as me, but I thought it was funny that she didn't have an animation of her getting hurt. So I decided to test this hypothesis with red shells, and surely enough, it was an ongoing trend. CPUs don't have collision animations. The DS was first to introduce recovery progression after being struck by lightning. I think it's one of the greatest fixes for the series because the one who used the item now won't pass first place in the cheap way, and this gives the other players in the back a chance to somewhat catch up to the ones in front, instead of getting screwed entirely. Notice how when you do shrink, the background music still continues, especially in really weird and somewhat higher pitches. This was actually new to the series because if you notice from the past titles, the music would actually stop and instead play... what do you call it? The lightning theme? Yeah, I'm gonna call it that. Some of the character portraits were taken from Double Dash. If you take a look at the game manual or just the renders online, exact poses were taken to use for Mario, Luigi, Bowser, and Donkey Kong. But he is flipped horizontally. Even the bottom screen portraits and score shots during races are identical to Double Dash's character selection screen too, which are also flipped. Apparently almost every item in this game are rendered as 2D sprites. Exceptions are the blue shell, fake item box, and bullet bill. I can't tell what's better to look at, to be honest. The ugly looking banana that looks at me the same way at different angles, or the bullet bill with ugly sparks coming out of its asshole. After engaging deeply in the Mario Kart community, I've noticed that many of the pros prefer carts such as the Egg 1, Poltergust 4000, Dry Bomber, and the Raw BLS. And what do they all have in common? Small wheels. Could this be partially the reason why they're good for snaking? Also, maybe that's why players choose them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Good choice for handling, I guess? Do you have a crappy DS mic? Because I can so relate. Back when I first owned this game, I always avoided balloon battle because I could never get the balloons to blow up. But guess what? Apparently you can just press select to inflate them. In disbelief. I low-key wish I knew this earlier so I could have pwned those kids back in elementary school. The mushrooms went through some design changes over the years, but did you know, Mario Kart DS was the first game, at least for its series, to introduce the modern mushroom designs. You know, looking flat, but round at the same time, and not having two polka dots on the top anymore. Yeah, thought you guys should know that, because, yeah. As I stated earlier, the DS version was the first to introduce what are called retro tracks, where avid fans are able to experience older tracks from previous games. Unfortunately, the selection was a bit limited because there were only 4 titles before this one, and they decided to place each track in order of year appearance. It kinda sucks. I personally wouldn't place any SNES tracks on the Leaf or Lightning Cup. And come on, Yoshi Circuit as the last course? That was only a Star Cup level course in Double Dash. Run into a car? Lose your item. Face off with a snowman? lose your item, collide with a giant pinball, well, that one's a given, but still, lose your item? So it seems like I lose my items when I collide with objects that make me flip over. Then explain this, Nintendo! Montimos are much more of a hazard than snow people. The stars in this game are unique to the rest. And no, it's not because of the poorly done rainbow effect. It's because this is the only version where you can see your characters dance while running over your opponents. It's such a satisfying thing to see.
Bam! Shock dodge!
Now, if you're bad, the worst feeling in the world is losing 7th place by a hair. And then your engine stops, and then you're crying, and then the CPU can mock you when they loop around the next time, because, you know, the game decided to create the turn off your engine switch, which I mean, I guess it's not all bad. In future titles, it really saved time when last place decides to troll instead of racing. I'm telling you, if it weren't for MKDS, we'd be sitting in online races forever. But guys, seriously, have you ever wondered why a CPU can beat you sometimes one-on-one, side-by-side on straightaways? Yeah, it's because they like to randomly speed up at times, and when they don't speed up, they're slow as cows moving in Moo Moo Meadows. Like, I don't get it. Are they supposed to be a challenge or not? The probability of a CPU to get a good item is definitely lower than a human player's probability. Another good reason why they aren't a challenge. When Double Dash came out, I played that endlessly, and eventually unlocked Toad and Toadette. Instead of Nintendo giving them a cart like the Mushmallow that we see in the next game, they drive literally the standard cart, which looks identical actually from the DS's standard cart. Guess we know where the inspiration comes from, huh? Red shell homing in this game is actually pretty precise. Not only do they follow accurately, but hit almost every time. This is the only Mario Kart game I know of where these guys actually wrap around the target and hit them on the side. Therefore, having bananas and shells won't really do anything unless you turn your cart in the last second. The fake item box in this game feels naked, and that's because it doesn't have the upside down question mark that we're used to. I guess maybe it was supposed to be harder for players to figure out which one is the fake one out of the bunch. But seriously, without the bottom screen, I'd so fail those item box missions. No wonder why Nintendo changed it. Alright, so this last one seems pretty cool. The game included in-depth kart stats. Okay, let's see. Speed, acceleration, weight, handling, drift, and items. What the heck is that supposed to mean?
Well, maybe it means players get a higher chance of receiving better items. Therefore, if the probability is greater than the average pick, then it would probably go well with something that's amazing with acceleration and handling.
Whew. Glad they took that stat out in future titles. This game would be so broken if you actually got better items from picking something like the Rob LGS. Seriously though, what drugs were they on when they were thinking about kart designs? And that's it! These are my 20 random facts that I discovered while recently playing Mario Kart DS. I find it interesting how your perspective can change through time, and to the point where you start to notice new things the second time around. Like the Poltergust 3000 skipping to the 5000 because the 4000 is the damn kart. But hey, if you guys find other random or weird facts about Mario Kart DS, let me know in the comments section below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This was really, and I mean really fun to make. And oh, if you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like, share to your Mario Kart friends, and subscribe for more possible MK related videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.